Actually getting some new content with the Halloween, well, with this weekly update. I wouldn't say it's a Halloween weekly update because we've had a few Halloween weekly updates this month now. But we're going to be getting some new content with it today. Oddly enough. Since all of the other stuff's just been returning content. Whether or not it's actually going to be any good is another question. It's nothing, by the way. I'm just trying to find it. So there's Slasher's going to come back. But there's going to be a new map for it. And there's new ghost exposed collectible locations. And this is what I need to ask, because I don't know. Is this something new altogether? Or is it just tagged on from what we had last time? When did we get the ghost exposed stuff anyway? Was that last year or the year before? Because I seem to remember that being ages ago. Let me have a look. So I'm not entirely sure when that came out. Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, I thought it was. So apparently we're getting new ghost exposed collectible locations. Whether this is something not brand new, but additional, and whether or not you get something new for doing those extra locations, I've no idea. No idea. Got a double cash in RP on Slasher. I think it's just the new one. Double cash on Ghost Exposed Collectibles. Triple cash in RP on Halloween Community Series. It's all a bit weird. It's all a bit weird. They seem to do more for Halloween, by the way, than any other... for anything else. I'm trying to get this cable right. It's doing me head in. What I'm trying to say is they seem to do more for Halloween than anything else, any of the other time of the year. This is a nightmare, because I can only hear myself out of one ear. There we go. Yeah, cool. Guys, welcome if you've just joined us. I've no idea what I'm going to do today. I tweeted not too long ago. This was earlier.
I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
That IGN claiming Battlefield 6 is a 5 out of 10 might be the most base thing from them ever. And I stand by that. That's incredible. They've actually got something right for once. A 5 out of 10. I say a lot about GTA, yeah? I'd rather GTA 6 look like this game and improve massively upon the physics and the performance, yeah? And Battlefield 6 is a perfect example. Shadow, welcome. Like, that game just... it looks marginally better than Battlefield 4 that came out 12 years ago, okay? You could argue on console it looks far better because the Battlefield 4 was for the Xbox One. So, like, the anti-aliasing and the resolution, the frame rate was terrible. But it's not like it's much better today because the graphics barely look any better. Yeah, okay, you could argue the anti-aliasing's a bit better. But if you're playing in performance mode for the frame rates to, you know, reach those higher frame rates, you're playing in like 720p and it doesn't even look that good. It's like, what is the point in doing all of these little changes to the graphics or wherever, you know, all of the hardware performance is being taken, whatever the hardware performance is being taken up by? What's the point in that? I'd rather the game look like Battlefield 4, and then they can improve massively upon everything else, like performance and physics. You play the game at the end of the day, so I want the performance to be good, and I want the physics to be good. Honestly, I feel like if you give a shit about graphics, you do not play games. You're not a gamer. Shut up. Don't be telling game developers, oh, I want graphics. So it's like, oh, this ray tracing bullet. Like, this game does it as well. This game just never needed ray tracing.
It's coming.
Let's go away.
Alright, I'll get back to work.
It's almost like they have to hit a certain level of quality when it comes to the visuals, or else they can't release the game. It's as if, you know, playing Battlefield 6, you don't get 120 frames. You don't get 120 frames. But you probably could get 120 frames on Xbox if they turned the quality of other things down. If they just made it look more like a simple game rather than doing all this extra stuff that they just didn't need to do. It's a weird one. Because I feel like more people should be talking about this sort of thing, because at the end of the day, like I said, like I've just been saying, you play the games at the end of the day. The people that give a shit about graphics don't even play games. Who cares? You can see reflections in puddles. It's also extremely demanding. And it'll cut your frames in half. Just no thank you. I don't care. I'll never care for it. It's games like I used to think games like Fortnite are the best. And a large part as to why something like Fortnite is probably so good is just because it feels really responsive and you can hit those high frame rates really easily. Even on Xbox. Whereas lots of games struggle to do that. You know, that's you could say that's largely thanks to its art style, but it's whatever, innit? And that's another weird one, in fact, because lots of people are quick to jump in and say that's a kid's game. And I really don't think it is. I really don't. It's definitely a game for all ages, don't get me wrong, but specifically for kids, I don't know. You could argue there's more depth to the gameplay in that game than something like Battlefield 6, in fact. Welcome if you just joined us, by the way. I'm waffling shit again because there's nothing to do on this game. In fact, that's what I was going to look at, the Ghost Exposed shit. GTAweb.eu. What's up in Ghost Exposed? So, did they do something for Ghost Exposed last year? Because we've got the original locations that I remember at the waterfall. Did we do something last year for Ghost Exposed? Bulldog, welcome. Do you even get anything for doing this? Let me just switch over, I'll show you. So you see this, yeah? What have you said there? New locations last year. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at. So these are the locations that are going to come out today. This is last year. And I'm struggling to remember whether or not I did this. I seem to think that we did now, thinking about it, because this one here seems really familiar. Really familiar. And I definitely remember this one because this is, you know, this is the one that we first ever did. It'd be nice if they had like a number next to them saying which order it is, you know, which order to do it in. I think, yeah, there you go. You can plot a route. You You can do that. So that's where it starts. There's two possible locations. God, that's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Bit of a mess. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a bit. But did we get anything new for it last year? Because from the information that we've got, it says new locations, but I can't actually see if there's going to be any new content to unlock alongside it, so is it even worth doing? Or is it just going to be for some, like, a cash reward or RP reward? That's what I'm struggling to know at the minute. But yeah, when it comes to this game, in fact, you know what? I saw some stuff on GTA 6 right throughout this week, and it's just some of the stuff going back ever since the first trailer, you know. I'm just trying to think now. It's as if my brain doesn't work, but this was the odd thing that I did this week, GTA, but that I looked into GTA related, that I could talk about on this stream, and I looked at it for about 5 minutes. And what I'm going to say is I made a video, didn't I? I made a video years ago. Oh, no, it's not even years ago, sorry, it's coming up to being years ago. This was last year. This was last year, at the start of last year. I made a video basically saying that the game's going to get delayed, because there was lots of people at the time saying, yeah, it's going to come out in 2025, which is a long time from, you know, trailer 1. And I was basically there saying, but they've done this before. They've released trailers years in advance, and they've ended up delaying the game. And in that video, I basically went into, I think I went as far back as GTA 4. Like, GTA 4 got delayed a month. Red Dead Redemption got delayed a few months, or something like that. I think, well, GTA 5 got delayed a few months, didn't it, as well? I'm not sure about Red Dead Redemption now, but I'm sure GTA 4 got delayed. And then Red Dead Redemption 2 got delayed a year. So, you know, you could put 2 and 2 together just from looking at, you know, more recent Rockstar releases, that they do tend to delay the games. And yeah, we had been waiting so long for GTA 6 to come out, or even see the trailer. I think people automatically assume, because it had been so long, that the game wasn't going to get delayed, but it's like, well, you don't know all the information, and well, now we know all of the information, we know why it's been delayed, and that's because they've only been making the game for 5 years. You think you get an outfit? See, I've not seen anything on it, and normally when there's new content that you get for doing these collectible things, people will say. GT Online's Halloween Haunts brings a new slasher map set in the tight corridors of the... Is that Ramius Submarine, or Ramius Submarine? Something like that, isn't it? Plus new ghost sightings for Ghost Exposed. Watch out for random slashers, including the Doppelganger, stalking the streets, and much more. The Halloween community series is paying triple cash and RP. And salvage yard owners can unlock the Albany Brigham by completing the Duggan robbery. Halloween rewards. I don't think there is anything. Oh, it would say here. Halloween rewards. Complete the first 3 weeks of the weekly challenges this month to get the Vinewood Undead Collection in time for Halloween. Collect a business battle crate to receive the orange vintage witch mask. Log in to receive the green vintage devil mask. And that video, I remember there were lots of people at the time saying the game wasn't going to get delayed, and there were some people, you know, coming out with pulling shit out of their arse to say that the game's not going to get delayed, to be honest. And it's like, how can you say these things when, if you're a fan of Rockstar Games, right, you'd know that the games automatically get delayed. So if they're going to reveal a new game and a year comes up at the end of it, always tag an extra year onto that. So like, when that first came out, the trailer, I'm thinking 2025. God, yeah, at the time that's going to be like 18 months away, isn't it? Potentially until we get the game. But you know, you've always got to add a year on. You've always got to add a year on for them, just because that's how things are. I'm trying to find the video. Was it opened? I've got like some shitty YouTube app thing. How did the Halloween weather? Solitrick. Sprinter, welcome. Do not comply, welcome. You're not bad, how are you, mate? So this is what I made. I mean, you'll see what I mean. I mean, this is pretty obvious. It starts off saying this. Grand Theft Auto 6 will get delayed.
Well, here we are.
The reason why I put this on private, by the way, is because people didn't really watch it. And I tried a bit of a new chill editing style for this, and I didn't really like it in the end, so I just thought I'll private it.
Just months after the GTA 6 reveal trailer, and we're already...
Is that too loud? Is that louder than me?
Getting delayed. I'm sure a lot of you probably saw this coming for reasons that I'll discuss in this video, but if you didn't, this is something you should have seen coming. So what's all the...
How this basically came about, and you know, you had lots of people, other people making videos saying it wasn't going to get delayed, is because... was this around the time when we got that information from somebody that they'd fallen behind with the work or something, and they were recalling Rockstar Games employees to go back into working in the offices, so then they could increase productivity or something like that? It was something like that, wasn't it?
Fuss that everyone's talking about. Let's cast our minds back to February. It had been reported that Rockstar Games were mandating its employees to return to office work for 5 days a week, starting in April. This supposedly left employees frustrated. Now, if that's the case, why did Rockstar Games do this? Well, here's where we're all surprised. It sounds like work on GTA 6 has started to fall behind. And with that being the case, Rockstar Games are worried about the game being pushed back to 2026. But this has been something I've said time and time again. GTA 6 will be delayed. That's why Rockstar Games...
I even said that before we even got the bloody trailer, by the way.
There's still some hope that GTA 6 releases in 2025, which currently it's looking like it's going to be a year away from now. However, with us getting this news,
because what people were saying originally was that the game was going to, the game would have been out by the spring, and this was uploaded the end of March, so the beginning of spring.
Rockstar Games have got an habit of only releasing games if they're flawless, and if it's not flawless, it's getting delayed. Now, why should we have seen this coming? If you're new to the community and haven't been around for a Rockstar Games
this
release
is a fairly
before,
valid reason as well.
To understand
and
why
everybody
this
should have cottoned on to
shocking,
this.
we need to have a look at previous titles that Rockstar Games have released. Red Dead Redemption was planned for...
I get if you've only ever played GTA 5. But look, most people should have been expecting the game to get delayed. And I remember at the time when I made this video, and the main reason for me making this video was because lots of people were saying that the game wasn't going to get delayed, and I thought, what? It just sounds like cope, as if they're trying to manifest it not getting delayed. Just because deep down they knew it was going to get delayed.
May 2010. Now, even worse than that, Grand Theft Auto 5, that game was supposed to release in early 2013. However, that got pushed all the way back to September 2013. Red Dead Redemption 2 was also delayed.
So this is what I've just said.
More than Grand Theft Auto 5. It was originally going to release in the second half of 2017, but was delayed by a year to 2018. And it's not just those titles. Other games such as Grand Theft Auto 4 have a similar story. So with that being the case, we should have all expected GTA 6 to release in 2026 when 2025 popped up on the trailer. If we get it in 2025, great, it'll be a nice surprise. If we don't get it in 2025, look on the bright side. We can all enjoy the current GTA Online a little bit longer. We'll all miss it one day. Look, when it comes to GTA 6, let's just...
See, I mean, GTA 6 isn't out. We're going to have to wait a few years for this to really kick in for people. But honestly, I don't think people appreciate this game enough. There's too many people that are wanting to move on. And these aren't just, the random casual players that you'll meet throughout your life. Because let's face it, lots of people have played GTA. But these are the more, the ones that are really into Grand Theft Auto. They're in all the different GTA communities and whatnot. I don't quite think they realise how special this game's been. And they'll only realise that once we've moved on from it. And they'll never... Look, I'm not saying the new GTA Online is going to be bad when it comes out with GTA 6, but it will be nothing like this. Nothing like this. Look, when everybody's old, right? When you're all old and looking back at all the games that you played or something like that, like this game will stick out to you more than what GTA 6's Online will. It's just a fact.
We've been waiting
just because this came first.
Already, we can wait a couple more years. And you need to remember that the longer we wait, the better the game will be.
Yeah, the better the game will be if we wait a bit longer for it to be released. Rockstar live on a different planet. Sprinter says we'll be grinding someone type missions at first. Is that a typo? So yeah, by the way, I still think the game's going to get delayed again because that 26th of May release date next year, by the way, just sounds a bit too optimistic. A bit too optimistic. I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed it back to later on in the year. Put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now we're looking forward to the game getting released because it's like a few days away or something like that. I don't want it to get delayed, put it that way, because it's it's already been delayed, but my gut feeling is that it'll get delayed again. And it's just, you can't ignore a gut feeling, can you? Can't ignore it. Yeah, I thought it was a typo. I just read it and couldn't work out what the typo was. I'm like, what? But I'm bad at that. Facility bypass setups is working again. I've not seen anything. Guys, welcome if you just joined us, by the way. I appreciate it. About him that we were talking about last week, that Assam Piker with that dog collar. All the times he's gone on stream this week as well and continued to deny it, and it's just got worse and worse for him. It's crazy. He had people that were defending him and no longer defending him as well, and like all his streamer mates came out and the dog would never get treated like that. He's meant to set up Act 3. He sets up Act 1 gutted. Mate, you want to be doing Bogdans. You want to be doing Bogdans. You rank 1,728, 6 billion, 10 million in cash. Every car modded. You just bored with GTA. GTA 60 Surrey up. I think that's the thing as well. I I get why you'd want to, like, even I want to move on from this game now, but I think the main reason why I want to move on from this game onto GTA 6 is because how they've not really supported the game that well ever since they went into full development for GTA 6. I mean, we've had this discussion 20 times before, haven't we? When they started fully developing GTA 6, which was only about 4 or 5 years ago, as soon as they did that, not long after, we had a drop in quality when it came to the GTA Online updates. It was kind of like they just put bare minimal effort into the updates just to get something out there. And which is, look, I'd have said, okay, it's fair enough, but they've gone ahead and put in a subscription service. And it's like, well, if you've got a subscription service, then really the content should be the best it's ever been. If you're going to treat it like it's a live service game. Live service games get subscription services, so this basically is a live service game now. Why are they not supporting it properly until the end of its life? Because that's how a live service game is treated. Up until, let's say, the new whatever's going to replace it in time. You know, like think about Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, for example. They're going to be supporting that properly until the new game comes out, and. Yeah, that's one thing. Ever since we've had GTA Plus, the updates have got worse. And the thing is as well, the updates continue to get worse. And it's making it harder to stay on this game, isn't it? And I know many people that used to play this game that don't really play the game anymore. That's the thing. And I would, and the thing is, well, with GTA 6, with them only having 5 years to develop the game, you need to remember there's 12 years worth of additional content in GTA Online. So you had all of the content that they made before GTA Online came out. Then you've got the content that they've released whilst the game's been out, which is 12 years of additional content now. I just fear that when GTA 6 Online comes out, there'll be a lack of content to many players. I don't think it'll be an issue if they've added in the right sort of content, don't get me wrong. But do they know what to add in? That's the question. Because you have this issue time and time again. It's as if the people that develop games no longer play the games. This isn't just a GTA problem, this is a problem with every game. Whereas it wasn't like that 20 years ago, even 15 years ago. The people that developed the game 15 years ago made the game. Well, the people that developed the game played the game. So they knew what players wanted. Because effectively they were a player themselves. Whereas I don't get that feeling anymore. Yeah, I think 6 billion is a modded account, mathematically impossible to earn that much money. What, 6 billion? 6 billion, Sprinter, you could easily do that. When did The Professional got 1 billion? Years ago, yeah? And they've added in much better ways of making money since then. So if you're not really spending your money and you're playing content, maybe like potentially even Bogdan replays, things like that, heist replays, you could have easily got 6 billion. Mike is on nearly 6 billion. Hanger is king. I don't do any stuff like that. I only play the heists because I find everything else boring. I need to get the timer on. Bulldog says, even weekly updates have had little input or effort. Well, to be fair, they did change the weekly updates. The one thing I don't like about the weekly updates is they give you too much information about what's going to happen before it's actually out. I think if they released the information as soon as the update came out in-game, I think that would be a lot better, because there's still that element of surprise that had come along if you know, as you're waiting for the weekly update to come out. Whereas it ruins it now. And I think the only time they should really announce what's coming out with the weekly update is if they're adding in new content, just to build up a bit of hype the day before, so to get people onto the game ready. Because let's face it, most weeks it's people that are looking forward to the GTA weekly update are just the people that normally play it. So there's lots of people that don't normally play GTA that will play GTA for new content. So that's what I'm saying. If they post stuff on Twitter or on YouTube or any other social media that, let's say, a new car's coming out tomorrow, then they're going to jump on GTA Online tomorrow. That sort of thing. No, I'm not on PC. But it says way back they added double money missions, etc. on the launch page. You know, you've reminded me something there. I was saying the other week they should make it easier to find certain updates that they've added into this game. And I saw today on the menu. That is a thing. But nobody said anything in the chat. So if that's always been a thing, I've just never seen it. But I don't think it's always been a thing, but I want to say that's been in the game longer than what I'd noticed it. So yeah, because I was saying I think they make it hard for new players to find new content. Because like the Los Santos Drug Wars missions, for example, you could easily get lost and have no idea how to start those if you're a new player. If you weren't around when, you know, the update came out, you could easily just play the game without knowing they even exist. You earn a 2 million a day, it'll be 8.5 years. Yeah, but that's the thing, you could earn more than 2 million a day on this game. If you do a Diamond Casino, that's like 1.5 million already. And like I said, taking like heist replays into account, I mean Bogdan's 1.5 now, isn't it? You do a Diamond Casino, you do a Bogdan. Maybe you do them a couple of times a day as well. That's 6 million a day. That's 6 million a day. Cut that down to like, what, 3 years? Yeah, they're not all the passive income. I know it's possible anyway, because Mike is nearly on 6 billion. If he still played the game, he'd be on 6 billion, but... And I'm sure he's coming up to 6 billion, because I said to him, you need to get to 6 billion before GTA 6 comes out. Where am I going, by the way? Yeah. Yeah, you can AFK and stuff like that. And you've got to remember the double cash and RP bonuses as well. I mean, remember when they put the bunker stuff on 4 times for GTA Plus? So you could AFK. You could AFK that. I had my ice pack for my shoulder. I didn't put it on because it was too cold. And it's that cold, right? All the moisture that's in my room is frozen on the ice pack. So now I've got a thin layer of ice on this ice pack. I'm not even joking. Do you want me to... I can take a picture and get it up on stream. How am I going to get this up on my stream now? Because it's on my phone. Let me think. I'll just send it to somebody on Discord. Let me open up Discord. I can't. It's not like I can even put it on because it's gonna wet my top now when all the ice melts. You'd think, right, you'd think it was wet before I put it in and it's been in the freezer for ages. Let me open in browser. So this is it. You'll see what I mean. It does that a lot. And I can't be putting that on my shoulder if it's that cold. Mate, this is like when you... I'm trying to scrape it off, but I can't. It's more on than what it actually looks. Oh well, I'll just put it on. Wets my top, it wets my top. Crazy. Right, there we go. Guys, welcome by the way if you just joined us. I appreciate it. Exactly what I'm going to do now, I've no idea. Use a PS5 and a PS4 to run Bogdan's. Safe way that PS5 resets easy. What, do you still play on the old version though? Surely. I mean, at the same time as well, Sprinter, the game has been out for ages, so people will have reached that much legitimately. I mean, I'm on 325 million. I want to say I barely played. Barely played compared to some people. Collect the pumpkins again? Nah, there's no way. No way. Don't want to have to be doing that. I don't think I've ever wore that t-shirt, by the way. I think I put it on when we unlocked the pumpkin. Well, unlocked all the pumpkins, or collected all the pumpkins, sorry. And I've just never wore it ever since. It's just such a pointless thing to do. And we all did it just for the sake of doing it. And we all bullied each other into doing it. Run that over. What's in this week's weekly challenge? Shall we have a look? I didn't see anything on that actually. Let me scroll up. Weekly challenge. Win one adversary mode to be rewarded 200,000 and the brown vintage werewolf mask. That's it, just rear end me. Retard. The Taxi Weekly Challenge keeps taking your money. I don't even know what that challenge is. What's one thing, by the way, you hope to massively improve in GTA 6? Because one thing I think they should massively improve, and I've not really heard too many people talking about it, is the weapons. Now, we've had people talking about the weapon system, saying that you're only going to be able to have like a limited loadout. But I want to know about the weapons themselves because, you know, the guns are a big part of this game. Arguably just as much of a part of this game as what the vehicles are. And I think there's a lot that they can improve upon from on this game. And we had that one screenshot, didn't we? We had that one screenshot. In fact, was it from in the trailer? It might have been in the trailer. It might not even be a screenshot. It could be either or, to be honest. It could be either or. But we had that clip or a screenshot of that MP5. And the MP5 actually looks pretty nice. So, it's nice to see that in GTA 6 the weapon models are going to be, you know, very, very similar to, you know, the real life counterpart, rather than them looking a bit weird in, you know, like how it is now. I mean, some of the newer ones look a bit similar, like this, I guess. But some of the earlier ones, like this, it's not really... You can tell it's supposed to be a G36C, but at the same time it doesn't look like one. Same with this being some sort of M4. That would be some sort of AK. I can tell what this is. That looks pretty similar to the FAL. Similar to an M16. This could have been done a bit better. I think this is a bit of a shit model. Same with the AUG as well, but it's not as bad as the SCAR. The SCAR's a nice looking gun as well, so it's a shame that they messed up on the model with it. It's the iron sights I don't like. But if they improved, you know, the amount of attachments that you had on your weapons in GTA 6 and they made it more of a, you know, impactful thing to your weapon. And they made it more like, let's say a shooting game, for example. If the weapons went into that much depth and the models look really well and they look like they belong in a first-person shooter, that's what I hope for GTA 6, because, like I said, the weapons in GTA 6, well, in GTA in general, that definitely make just as much of a part of the game as what the vehicles do. So, Bulldog says, when you achieve a certain level, you can summon 5 bodyguards to follow you around. What do you mean? Improved matchmaking on jobs would be nice, yeah. I mean, that's a massive thing as well, isn't it? I've talked about this many times before. You should be able to join a race even though it's active, you know, to basically queue for the next race. And I feel like there's so many jobs that are active that you just never get put into because it doesn't put you into them. That's what it feels like. It shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. I'd like to see that in GTA 6 even though you're not going to buy it. Well, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. But from what I saw so far, you know, I mean, we only really saw that MP5, but from what we saw so far, it does look promising. And I will definitely be looking forward to checking out the weapon customization in it, because on this game it's bland and boring. Plus, I want them to improve the gunplay in general. I want it to feel more like it is a proper shooting game, because at the minute it kind of just feels like a... Not like it is an afterthought, but it wasn't a priority to get the shooting that good. It's passable for the game that it is. It doesn't do anything that bad and it doesn't do anything that good. It's just mid in it. I think the auto lock-on's a bit of a joke, if I'm being honest. I don't think the game should be like that. Will be a good game, but you sense some things that will put you off it to some point. You stay on this game. Oh my god, I keep crashing into cars. Yeah, they should add in recoil patterns and attachments that affect that. They should do. I don't even know what garage this was in now. The more they get the shooting mechanics in a GTA game down to how it should, you know, to a past a satisfactory level for a shooter game, in fact, the closer they get it to, you know, to be on par with a good shooting game, the better. Put it that way. And I don't think there should be any excuse as to why it shouldn't be like that in GTA 6. But, you know, I'm expecting the shooting mechanics to stay the same. But I'm definitely expecting them to improve the weapon models and the attachment variety. It was this garage as well that I went into. They could make that better in GTA 6, cars trying to crash into you. Yeah, but that's an intentional thing they did for this game though, isn't it? Still never merged this, by the way. Why is this even in here? What's a weird garage? Oh, I'm gonna get in this thing. Let me just get the timer on. I've not put the timer on, have I? Hope we get something like this again in the new update. It's just when they seem to do something like this, they always fall short. Remember when the Jester RR widebody came out? With a livery, God. Yeah, the newer car models are pretty good. Do not comply, they are pretty good. I just hope for GTA 6, you know, some of the older car models, I hope they redo them. Like, people have been asking for a proper Nissan GTR for ages, just never got one. Might actually get one in this update, because I'm expecting that to be in GTA 6 with the amount of times people have requested it. So I might just add it into this game, because I've definitely been porting cars from GTA 6 into GTA Online. To repair the car. F1s, yeah, but we've had this discussion before. Like, what is merging even going to be a thing? Is merging even going to be a thing? Because if they change the netcode, and if they get over to dedicated servers, then I don't see how it's going to work. Making the modded cars. You could have some sort of merge glitch, but actually making the modern cars themselves and, you know, to the level that you can make them on this game, I don't think it's going to be possible. That being said, there's a few more exploits. Like DayZ has dedicated servers, and there's if you can use netcode to do a duplication glitch. So. Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be a thing though, put it that way. Be a nice surprise if, well, be a nice thing to find out if it ever is a thing in GTA 6, put it that way, because I kind of think making the cars like this, you know, doing the modded cars and whatnot, has helped me play the game for as long as what I have. I'm not even joking. Not even joking. Guys, welcome if you've just joined us. If you are enjoying, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe for more content to come. What game has everybody been playing other than GTA then, recently? Because we've had a few games come out now. We had Battlefield last week. I was saying at the start of the stream, I think Battlefield is a perfect example as to why they shouldn't be pushing for graphical fidelity, and instead they should be pushing for to improve performance and the physics side of things, that, you know, because they played more of a role in improving the gameplay than what graphical fidelity does, because we reached a point where graphical fidelity kind of reached its peak over 10 years ago now. I think at the time you were mainly limited to with the hardware, so you had to run things on like lower settings than what you could do now. Let's say Battlefield 4, for example, 12 years ago. If they had an Xbox Series X update for it now, which pushed some of the things higher in the game, you'd be able to get a higher frame rate than Battlefield 6, and it'd feel better than Battlefield 6 because of that. And it would look in some ways better than it, because it's, you know, it's not an absolute visual mess because there's not too much going on. But yeah. But IGN's right. I'm standing by this. Like, I've been playing it, and yeah, to a degree, I have enjoyed it. But the game is a 5 out of 10. A 5 out of 10. What is it in the game that, you know, they've done better than other Battlefield games? I don't think it's as good as 2042, even though 2042 got a lot wrong. I don't think this has got a lot wrong. But what it has got wrong, it's fairly substantial, put it that way. And there seems to be a lack of content. You don't have as much content as what you do from previous Battlefield games, even though they've had longer to make the game. The maps aren't as good, which, you know, by the way, the maps play a large role into whether or not it feels like a Battlefield game. Not that it bothers me too much, because I like playing quicker, you know, high action modes, I guess. Always play 10v10 on COD. So with it being more chaotic because the maps are small, it's not necessarily had a bad impact on me. But what I would say is, even then, right, I'd say the maps are too small, because everything, it's just all the same. You have the same gunfights no matter which map you're on, because it's that small. There is no, it's like there's no strategy into any of the maps. Completely out the window, because you've not got enough space to work with for anything to be anything other than just push them in numbers. Throw smoke grenades. It's the same thing on every single map. And to a degree, I guess you could argue it was always like that before in the past. But I'm saying, when the maps are slightly bigger and there's more space, it offers for more strategic gameplay and ways to work around it, rather than just throwing yourselves at enemies. Because spawning in, getting a kill and dying is just boring. It is, it's boring. Fallout 76 is very good at the minute, with a new map coming. I've not played Fallout 76 for ages. I think it was last week I was saying, I hate how with that game it feels like you've got to have Fallout first to properly play it. So unless I really want to play Fallout 76, I would just won't bother with it, because I Fallout first. And if I want to play, I'll get Fallout first. But yeah. Train Sim World 6. Car wash is a good idea, but who wants to wash cars? It's because they're going to do role-playing, I'm telling you. In GTA 6. You've been on Helldivers. You don't have Battlefield 6 yet. Don't get Battlefield 6. Don't get Battlefield 6. It has no idea. Right. I don't think anybody has any idea what Battlefield is, by the way. I don't think anybody has any idea. It's almost like the player base themselves do not even realise what Battlefield is and what Battlefield has always been. A big thing with that is the movement, because this has been a big talk, a big discussion at the minute, hasn't it? The movement, right, on the old Battlefield games, if you think back to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, if you think compare them to the Call of Duties at the time, the movement in those games was definitely a lot more wacky. And there was more of a focus on the movement in those games than what there ever was in Call of Duty at the time. Now, you could argue, you know, as Call of Duty pushed things forward, it kind of overtook Battlefield because, you know, Battlefield mechanically fell behind for a few years until like 2042, where it's kind of like on the same level as Call of Duty. But to say it should be as slow as Battlefield 6, it's just, I'm sorry, with how slow you move, it does not feel like Battlefield 6. It feels like COD. It feels like COD. Because the sprint speed on Battlefield was always quicker than in Call of Duty. Always. And then you've got all these other things as well that just don't feel right. You carry so much momentum, so if you jump, you can carry so much momentum. If you slide and go into a jump, you carry loads of momentum. You can bunny up and stuff like that. That game, honestly, that game should be a movement shooter. I'm not even joking. Like, if they removed all penalties when it came to movement while shooting, things like, if you don't know what I'm on about, if you jump, you can't shoot your gun properly because your gun goes up in the air and then the bullets aren't going to the centre of the screen. That sort of thing. If they moved all penalties so your gun wasn't affected by even like crouching up and down, just going into shooting too quick, like the gun just won't be accurate. They're trying to keep the gameplay so grounded, and it just doesn't feel natural because of the way the other mechanics work. And, you know, especially with how much momentum you get from the jumping, it just feels like this should be a movement shooter. It just feels natural to play like that. Honestly, it's the most natural movement shooter that is not a movement shooter that I've ever played. Call of Duty tried to be a movement shooter with Omni movement, and it just feels crap. But Battlefield, on the other hand, it's like... it's incredible. You've got movement that feels really good. Yeah, the sprint speed could be increased. Yeah, the jump height could go back to like how it was in the beta. But these penalties that you get for even going into a crouch whilst you're shooting, your gun flicks up in the air. What? Let me show you a clip, in fact. Let me show you a clip. I'm going to have to switch accounts there for this. Do not comply. So there are raids now. The old builds, not collecting scrapping boxes. Make you a boss. I've heard people going on about those. Are they going to be adding the ghost event finally? Yes, that's coming out today. This is it. These are the locations. So if you want to give it a pause and have a look, there you go. There you go, with the route, if you can make it out. Is that to the gun van? Why does it go to the gun van? Hang on, I'm probably doubling up here. Why does it go to the gun van? So you start there, but you actually go over here to the second one. Oh, that's this year's location, by the way. Not the previous year's. In fact, we can stay on Chrome. You can have a look at that map while I switch over accounts. I'm probably doubling up here. Let me try and find it. I'm gonna have to put the blocker on. Where is the blocker? I've lost the blocker. Enjoy that. Briefly. Now I need to find which clip it is. This is it. I'm going to count to 10 seconds. This might be loud, by the way. I'm going to turn the game audio down whilst we watch it. So this arguably feels better than what it does in Call of Duty. I'm not even joking. But can you see, like, how much the gun's affected? And there's a blue mechanic in it as well that amplifies this. And that's the one time where it's accurate, and that's the reason why I clipped it. But if you go to do this, right, 99 times out of 100, that isn't going to happen, and it's going to mess you up. It's like I got lucky. Like, look. And I thought, God, I've killed him like it's Call of Duty. in a way. I doubt you'd even be able to do something as naturally as that in Call of Duty. Like, honestly. Let me just turn the game audio back up. I've been kicked. I'll get to restart now anyway. You need the clown one. Can't wait to do these so you can finally get the Ghostbusters outfit. Is that just the unlock from the other year? Or is that something new? Because with the outfit unlocks, I'm just not bothered about them in general. I'm not bothered. There's many things that I've not collected on this game, so it's not like I'm in a rush to collect everything that I've not got. Let me just alter the game audio. There we go. Oh, it switched me account, hasn't it? Would have been loading up into the wrong character. What is going on? This is it. This is that tab that I was on about anyway. Updates. I didn't think this was a thing, but something like this was what I was on about. They need to make it easier for newer players to find the content that is available to them, rather than it just being a mess. But even then, I feel like they should do something in game, because how many people are going to overlook what's on the menu? Fair few people might do that, because they just want to play the game. Anyway, sorry if I bored you with Battlefield 6, but it's just... It's kind of a perfect example as to how far we've fallen when it comes to the standards of video games, because people are hyping up that game. Bear in mind, some of it is manufactured out because its content creators want to, you know, manifest a game being good so it benefits their career. Don't get me wrong. However, I think for other people that are genuinely hyped about the game, it says a lot about the standard of video games that we get these days, because to say that's been made in 4 years, with the EA have pulled multiple different development teams off certain games to come into Battlefield to make that game, and it does nothing better. In fact, it's the worst Battlefield game that has ever existed. It's just the worst Battlefield game. It's got the worst maps, the least amount of content, the performance isn't really that good, and the graphical fidelity hasn't really been... I want to say it looks worse than Battlefield 5, and Battlefield 5 came out 7 years ago, and the performance is probably a lot better in Battlefield 5. The graphics probably look a lot better in Battlefield 5. The maps are better in Battlefield 5, and this is a game that was, you know, 7 years ago, people poorly received that game. People did not like that game 7 years ago. You know, and now you look back on it and it's like, God, we've been a bit too harsh on that game, because the standards have fallen that much. But it just sums up the problem with modern day gaming, just lackluster releases that have been made by people that honestly don't even play games. It doesn't come across as if they play games. It's so bizarre. It's one game after the other as well. One game after the other. Guys, welcome if you just joined us. I appreciate it. 2 seconds. I'm trapped. 2 seconds. I'm back. Heard a bit of a noise, so I went to investigate.
We should chill sometime.
Why is it foggy like this? Is it just a coincidence? Because I swear it was a bit foggy earlier or something happened, like lightning went off. Was this something to do with the Halloween stuff? I've no idea. Just, I've never seen fog like this before in the game. Obviously I've seen fog before, but I keep... You see how you get those like particle effects, right? Not particle effects, but that's like smoke effects in front of you. When you're right on top of it, look. But yeah, I don't know if any of you have played Battlefield 6 and how many of you have played previous Battlefield games, but look, if that's getting celebrated in the way that it is, I think people have really forgot what games used to be like and how much better they were years ago. We've gone past the point now where games are that bad we're just going to celebrate mediocre releases, just mid-releases that are just... Look, 10 years ago that would have been classic. If that was Battlefield 5 and it came out after Battlefield 4, people would be saying it's shit. Just is. It's just we've fallen that far when it comes to standards in video games. That is going to be held to such high standards today. It's just not a good game. It's just mid. Mid, really mid. It's not even like... I remember ribbons being a thing as well. Ribbons were kind of like medals in Halo. I think they were anyway, thinking about it now. They're kind of like medals in Halo, and you can't get anything like that. Guys, welcome if you've just joined us, I appreciate it. You got your Act 3 back again. Just did Act 1 with a low level. Yeah, no worries, do not comply. Thanks for joining. I really don't want to play anything in this game because I've just got past the point of playing it at the minute. It's that time of year where you've got new games coming out. It's just... I've always said this about older games, haven't I? Like, if it's an old live service game and they're doing stuff around the sort of time where new games are coming out, they just need to concede to the fact that people are going to be playing new games and, you know, ramp things up again once, you know, people have got fed up with those new games. So, like, you know, the turn of the new year, maybe like February sort of time at the earliest. February to spring sort of time. Like, PUBG's doing something next month, yeah, on console, but, like, PUBG on console, by the way. PUBG on console, they're doing a graphical update. It's like an Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 update for it. And why on earth they're releasing it in November around all of these other releases? You know, you're going to have this Battlefield 6 Battle Royale coming out. You've got the Call of Duty stuff coming out and the Warzone integration. Big competition, yeah? Who the hell is going to be bothered about a PUBG graphical update when it comes out in November, other than the hardcore audience? That's not going to bring anybody back, is it? Whereas if they did it in March sort of time, or April sort of time, all the people that have got fed up with, you know, the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale, because it's going to happen, and the people that have got fed up with the new Call of Duty, happens every year. They'll be looking for another game to play. What's that? PUBG's got a graphic update. I'll check that out. And then you've got way more people that are downloading the game and playing the game that wouldn't have been playing the game. It's just weird. This game's like it to a degree, but to be fair, they do release the updates, well, the December update, after all the other games have come out. Plus, this game's kind of in a league of its own anyway. What is with this fog? A Battlefield 6 VR does not sound fun. Honestly, it depends on the vehicles, doesn't it? Like, this vehicle, if I'm getting blown up by a tank in a Battle Royale, uninstall. Uninstall. Don't want to get blown up by a tank in a Battle Royale. They'll probably shoot themselves in the foot and there's like 20 tanks on the map and it's just a tank Battle Royale. God. I've given them an idea there. I probably shouldn't have done. I want to say, look, if they did make the game more of a movement shooter and they penalised you less for just jumping and stuff like that while shooting, and, you know, sliding, like, you can't even slide without the gun messing up. You can't crouch mid gunfight or anything like that. If the game wasn't like that, and there wasn't, you know, there was less bloom, or there was no bloom, I actually think the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale would be good. Apparently it's going to come out on the 28th. New PC style Xbox coming in 2027, is that right? Well, it sounds like it, doesn't it? It's like they've big-brained it at Microsoft. You know, this is very average IQ, by the way, this at play. What they've done is, right, they basically looked at what's going on with the consoles and everything. And they've basically decided that they're in Nintendo's shoes. So what they've done is they've gone, we need to think outside the box. We need to think outside the box. We need to do something out of the ordinary to get people to go and buy an Xbox. Which, I'm not sure doing that is the way to go, by the way, because like let's say the new Xbox is going to be £1,000 because it's going to be more like a PC. It's just a pre-built Xbox PC. That's what it is. What's it like? Why would I get a pre-built Xbox PC? Why? Why would you do that? You just build your own PC or buy your own PC from elsewhere, and then you've got a larger, you know, a larger game library. Put it that way, because you got Steam and everything like that. You might have Steam support on this Xbox, by the way, but still, it's weird because it's like they've tried to do what Nintendo did with, you know, Nintendo did the Switch, didn't they? So it's like a home console, but it's portable. It's a home console, but it's portable. And that's what kind of made it really popular. The reason why that's really popular is because the parents will get it for the kids because it's cheap, that sort of thing. Plus there's childish games on it. So I think that's half of the reason why it's so popular, but at the same time, it kind of is a good idea. I just feel like the console, well, those consoles at the minute aren't powerful enough to be able to, you know, to be fully worth it. Like if you could play GTA 5 on it, for example, then like fair enough, but just being able to play Mario Kart on the go, it's just not enough, is it? But Xbox have looked at what Nintendo have done and basically gone, well, we need to do something like that for ourselves, and the best they could come up with was, we'll just make a PC. I was like, alright, but I'll just, you know, if I wanted to be on PC, I'd be on PC. And if you're gonna go to making just like an Xbox PC, I'll just make my own PC or buy my own pre-build. Because I could probably get it for cheaper. Because you know it's going to happen when this Xbox comes out, there'll be people making PCs for cheaper than the Xbox, and it'll be more, you know, be able to run games better than what the Xbox will. And people will be like, well, what's the point of me getting an Xbox PC when I can just buy one of these and, you know, run the games better. It's a weird one, that Sprinter, it really is. It's a weird one because if I was them, I would have made the Xbox feel like a more premium product rather than it just being so basic. And what I mean by that, I'm telling you, this right here, the UI, the dashboard, has a big impact. And I'm telling you now, if they made everything feel and look more premium on Xbox in terms of console design, features, UI, stuff like that. One thing, if you just focus on identifying all of the things you could improve in terms of the, you know, the quality and how premium it feels, improve upon it tenfold, they would have half a chance. And they had a competitive price point. Like if they were losing out on money, this is Microsoft, right? They can afford to do it. If they were losing out on money, you know, more than what they're doing now, they could easily make that back in terms of, you know, just revenue from people buying the games, because there'd be more people on Xbox buying the games, there'd be more people on Game Pass. And to be honest, with this Xbox PC, like for the reasons I just said, it's as if they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They've just gone, yeah, that's an idea. That's a good idea, because it just sounds all right at face value, but when you actually sit down and think about it, I don't know, I just worry about it. I just worry about it. Yeah, it is a weird one though, Sprinter. It is a weird one. I just worry. The thing is, with it going to more like a PC as well, will I have the freedom of basically being on a PC? Because what's the point if I'm not going to have the freedom of being on a PC? Then whatever. And it's not necessarily the Windows operating system that I'm on about. Let's say it's more like the Xbox dashboard. But when I go into a game, will I be able to set my frame rate to whatever? Will I be able to mess around with the graphic settings, playing on low or ultras, things like that? Yeah, shooting themselves in the other, folks. They've already shot themselves in one. This Game Pass price hike. Well done, you just made everybody, half the player base switch to PC anyway. Already. It's just, yeah. Really weird. And I'm telling you, this UI is just not a good thing. People don't like the look of it. They'll put up with it, but I'm telling you, a big reason as to why Windows phones didn't take off was the UI. It was the UI. And I didn't mind the UI on Windows phones. I had a Windows phone, but I think, looking back on it now, I think it's only because, you know, this is when I was a kid and it was fairly cheap and it was a smartphone, so. It was a Windows. Did they still make Windows phones? No, they don't make Windows phones anymore. Stopped producing new devices in 2019. The last Windows 10 mobile devices reached their end of life in 2020. And that is largely down, that failure is largely down to the UI. %. It just felt cheap, tacky, and just subpar compared to everything else, you know, compared to Android and iOS. And I feel like they've got, albeit it's not as bad, but they've got the same problem going on with this. 100%. Guys, welcome if you just joined us. We're just waiting for the update to come out. No one's on, so I don't think we'll get to play this new slasher map. No one's online. So that's unfortunate. We might have to check that out next week. But I guess we could do the Ghost Exposed stuff. It's just with the Ghost Exposed stuff, are we gonna get anything new for it? That's what I don't understand. Well, that's what I don't know, sorry. Yeah, brilliant. If there's anything we've not discussed, let me know. It's just turned into a podcast now, haven't we? We just talk to people in the chat. I'm just trying to see if there is any stuff that I've missed out, GTA related, but I haven't. Got that new Halo announcement next week, haven't we? If anyone's bothered about that. If anybody is bothered about that. That honestly, I can't tell you how good Halo used to be as well, and just how shit it is now. These people that took over after Bungie went to make Destiny, there was like the odd person from Bungie that stayed on, and then all these new people that came in and just completely changed it into what they've changed it into now is just absolute joke. And it'll never be what it used to be. They've messed with so much, from the story to the gameplay, the art style. They basically... They rebooted something in 2012 that didn't need rebooting. And all because they wanted to... It's our take on it. They should have just left it. Halo Reach should have been the last Halo game at this point, because they've just, you know, absolutely desecrated it. If that's the correct word to use. Because it was like Halo was sacred at the time. It's a weird one. I'm just trying to think of all these games, like... There's definitely no coincidence as to why they've all gone the way that they have as well. It's just not... They've just all not suddenly fallen off without things happening to them. I mean, the studios are completely different than what they were 15 years ago. I mean, Halo Studios is based in Seattle. If you know anything about Seattle, then yeah. You know what types of people that's going to attract. And they've even rebranded into Halo Studios, haven't they, from 343 Industries. It's just the same as 343 Industries. It's the exact same. I'm not going to do it then, Sprinter, because that just sounds pointless. Just sounds pointless. It's like this studio head. No idea who he is or what he's done before, but how is he going to be good enough to make a Halo game? He's been at 343 since 2018. So, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, it's just the same as all the other people that have just been leading it before on, because it's 2018's 7 years ago. Guys, welcome if you've just joined us. I'm sick of saying that because there's just nothing to talk about, but yeah, welcome. So this is it on the Halo wiki. Look at all these adverts. I was talking about PCs, by the way. Look what's popped up. Look what's popped up. That's crazy, isn't it? They say we're not listening. They say they're not listening, sorry. .343 Industries in 2018. Halo 5 Guardians. So they did Halo 5, so it works on Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is not a good game, by the way. There's nothing on this guy. Like he's the head of studio, and this is it. Who is he? Who is he? You know, you've gone through so much shit with Halo. At least let me know we're in good, you know, we're in good hands, so we can keep faith about the next games. But it's just like, who is he? It gives you more questions than what it gives you answers. Been wanting answers for long enough. It's just so weird. So weird. And the reason why it's such a big thing is because the game's deviated so far from what it's supposed to be. You have to have somebody leading it, where the old Halo games meant something to people. So you need somebody like that in. I found what he's worked on, by the way. Found what he's worked on, which, like, some of these decisions just don't make sense, because, like, looking at the things that he's worked on, like, why is he the head of Halo? Credited on 38 games.
Try some fucking originality.
He's got like a he's got that phenotype where or phenotype where they've got like a really long chin, but I'm not on about like how far the chin sticks out. I'm on about like from the bottom of the lip to the bottom of the chin is like really big. He's got that look. Works on things like Juiced Eliminator for the PSP. So up until right 2011, he were making games for handheld devices, developing games for handheld devices, all the way up until 2011. I mean, 2011 it's the Wii. Oh, that's the Wii. Blade Kitten Episode 2. And then we brought him on to develop Halo. Brilliant. Wow, yeah, wow. Definitely wow. Let's set off. Start driving again. I've not been on my VPN this week. If the stream hasn't lagged, that's why. Brilliant. I just hope anyway with GTA 6, it just ends up being a good game in the end. Because we've had to wait so long for it, but look, we've not had... Since all these games have gone really mediocre over the last 7 years or so, we've not had a Rockstar Games game, have we? They've not released a game. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And, by the way, I found this out, and this is relevant to what we talked about in the past. In the United Kingdom, right, you've got all these HR departments that'll want to hire people based on meeting diversity targets. And if that's happened for GTA 6, then that's not a good thing, because you've got people working on GTA 6 that aren't necessarily as qualified as other people that should have been working on it, but they've got turned down because they're not black or something like that. And I say this recently because I've heard a few things from people where somebody started working for them, they've claimed to have these qualifications and whatnot, and they've got these, they came over from abroad and they did these, they did these degrees from abroad and whatever, and it turns out in reality they've not got the skills they need for the job, and they've lied about having a degree, vice versa, and it's just... Yeah, we're going to be hiring people just solely based on their identity. It's just odd. And that has definitely played a role in, how bad games have got. You just do nice with randoms. I'd have to be loose with what I say there because I can't really fully go into it because I'm not going to throw people under the bus. And then also, it's like, I'm not necessarily just going to put my life out there for the sake of, on the internet. I think that's always been a bit... I like having anonymity on the internet. I don't mind people knowing who I am. If I know them, you know what I mean? But at the same time, why would you put all this information about yourself out there to anyone? I'm just driving around the map anyway, Sprinter. Are you online, Sprinter? Because we could play that. Shadow might play if it's still there. We could play that new slasher map. Play that new slasher map when it comes out in about 20 minutes. Is anything else happening? I think it's next week we're going to get the Halloween weather, by the way, because we came to that conclusion last week, didn't we, when we looked at the calendar?
Really nice ride.
Returning content, UFO Business Battles. It says nothing about the Halloween weather, so it'd be next week. Because the Thursday in 2 weeks' time is the 30th, which is the day before Halloween, and I don't see them adding in the Halloween weather just a day before Halloween. I reckon they'll do it a week leading up to it, so yeah. Which, by the way, this year, Christmas is on a Thursday. Christmas is on a Thursday. So there'll be no tunables up. Well, there might be a tunables update, but I won't be streaming it. Or I might do, I don't know. Streaming it on Christmas. That is, look, that's something that I'd do. I've done a Christmas stream before anyway. In fact, I've done loads of Christmas streams, I think. North Yankton Survival isn't back yet. Wasn't that supposed to be coming back? Yeah, you're going to do it. You're just doing server farm at the moment. I read that as if like you're farming the server. Title A/B testing. You've been granted early access to YouTube's new title A/B testing feature, designed to help creators compare the performance of titles beyond just thumbnails. Please bear in mind that the feature is still in development, so make sure that you report any bugs that you may encounter. By using the title A/B testing tool, you grant YouTube permission to collect and analyze the performance of the titles and thumbnails used in testing and agree to comply with all YouTube policies. I'm not using that.
How's it going, mate? Hey, yo. What's up? Hey, man.
Shall we watch an old video? I say old video, this is from last year. This is from last year. Let me just get my phone. I need to put my phone on charge actually. Just bear with me. It's just so I can see the chart. Just so I can see the chart. We're gonna watch. There's not enough drip feed content in GTA Online. Are you ready to watch it? It's loading. What is going on? Right, well, OBS had a fit.
There's not enough drip feed content in GTA Online. Let's get into it. In GTA Online, we used to get more frequent updates, so there was always something to look forward to around the corner.
We did, right, we never used to have drip feed content because we used to get updates every other month. Yeah, the updates were smaller, But because we had them every other month, we'd get the cars, you'd make the money. Bear in mind, people didn't have the money to always buy everything that came out, so they had to work their way up to eventually get everything. By the time they got everything, we were just about ready for another update that basically did the same again. Now, I much prefer having the bigger updates. But the problem is, it seems like people don't want the drip feed content, but the drip feed content is a good thing because it gives people time to make money to be able to buy the cars every week. Then, there's always something to look forward to that'll put you on until the next update, and it just makes sense including the drip feed content in to increase the longevity of the updates. People can find it annoying that a car that they want to try out isn't going to come out until the very end, but at the end of the day, that's not even some info that we should really have, to be honest. What car's going to get added in? It'd be nice if they kept that as a surprise, but it's just not possible, is it? Anyway.
However, these days in GTA Online, we only ever get 2 updates a year, so because of that, Rockstar has started drip feeding content. A lot of people don't like the fact that the drip feed content. However, I don't think there's enough of it, and it's not just me. Other people I've spoken to would also like more drip feed
This was in a Twitter group chat.
content. The problem we're having at the minute is that
you can tell. Who do you reckon wrote this? Community jobs are good, but it would be nice to have some decent vehicles in the drip feed, like more old school attaches, etc. for car collectors. It's definitely a RedLester comment in it.
Spoken to would also like more drip feed content. The problem we're having
It's
at
definitely
the minute is that
RedLester.
there's not enough content being drip fed into the game to last until the next update. That just makes the game feel dead. There's nothing to log on for. And I get why some people would want all of the content day one of the DLC update. Some people may be looking forward to a car that's not going to come out for
Right,
about
just talked
4
about
months.
this.
But let's be patient with this. Whether you like it or not, GTA Plus is a thing.
Plus, if we're going back to this, right, there's lots of people that will just want all the content day one because they don't actually play GTA Online. They don't actually play GTA Online, they just play for the new update and that's it. Just because there's nothing else to do.
Of the content day one of the DLC update. Some people may be looking forward to a car that's not going to come out for about 4 months. But let's be patient with this. Whether you like it or not, GTA Plus is a thing, so that pretty much makes the game a live service game. We can't keep going.
Oh, we talked about that this stream. I can't. Yeah, there we go. My cable's playing up.
The fact GTA Plus is a thing should mean there's more content.
Talked about this stream as well. Things haven't changed since last year.
Getting less content, and that content is lazy content. There's no doubt some of the vehicles we've seen in GTA Online as of later from GTA 6. So any interesting vehicles...
You still see that, by the way.
Clearly
For the next update.
For its release. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't really want cars from GTA 6 in the current GTA Online, but that's not really what I'm talking about here. No matter how close we are to cars from GTA 6...
This is a bit... whatever, isn't it, at the point? I've kind of got over it. It's not like it's a big deal, but... So I'm still not sure about it. It's mainly this Titan... You know when we've got the Titan 250D? I don't see why that was ever added into the game. Because imagine if we played GTA 6 and was like, oh, look how much they've improved the Titan.
Current GTA Online, but that's not really what I'm talking about here. No matter how close we are to GTA 6, GTA Online is a live service game. We need a decent amount of content to keep the game going throughout the year. And the content we're getting at the moment is lackluster, to say the least.
It's basically me saying... And it kind of is like that still. We do seem to get less content than what we used to get, even going back to something like the Criminal Enterprises update, where we didn't really get new gameplay content, but we got lots of new vehicles. And we don't even get that anymore. It's just kind of like bare minimum every time, isn't it? Charlie, welcome.
Now, what content should they be added in through drip feed? Well, with them working on the final bits of GTA 6, I don't...
Crispy 812.
Shout out to Crispy, appreciate it, mate.
Crispy 812 celebrates 58 months of membership.
Why is it all coming up at the set? Look. It's like it's not censored.
Like a Cayo Perico or a Dime Casino.
Sorry about that, Crispy.
Added at a steady rate throughout the entirety of the year. And with that way, there's always something to look forward to around the corner. Yes, I know there's this upcoming club.
I mean, that's the thing. I kind of touched on that at the very start, didn't I? But I kind of added onto it earlier as well. But that's the thing with how they used to do the updates. There was no need for the drip feed content, and we got everything day one. got everything day one. But now, because we only have 2 updates, we need the drip feed content. And it's like people don't want the drip feed content because we're used to just getting everything day one, even though arguably we get more things now day one of an update than what we got with the old updates.
And with that way, there's always something to look forward to around the corner. Yes, I know there's this...
Is there Halloween weather coming out today? Because I don't think it is, because I've not seen any info on it.
Coming Clucking Bell raid, which could be out by the time you're watching this. But there needs to be added in more vehicles. Clucking Bell raid.
The Clucking Bell farm raid was alright, and it's still alright for entry-level players. I feel like this got boring. It was alright because we were desperate for something like this to be added into the game, but once we got used to it, I feel like doing the setup missions are a bit shit. I don't think they're as bad as the, Oscar Guzman Flies Again. Setup missions, but the only thing it does better, it gives you the freedom of choice as to what you want to do in it. Whereas with Oscar Guzman Flies Again, it's just the one thing. It's just fairly linear.
Which could be out by the time you're watching this. But there needs to be added in more...
It's an open world game as well, so like that having something so linear doesn't really make sense because it's against what an open world game is.
And now I've given them some good suggestions before in my other videos, but just a steady flow of vehicles throughout the year will be suffice for the most part. Now let's go back to the back end of July 2022 where we got...
This is it, I've talked about this earlier, so look.
Enterprises update. In that update...
I'm proud of myself.
18
I don't just say stuff for the sake of saying it. I'm glad I'm not like that.
vehicles. Now, we did get 20 with this most recent GTA Online update.
I'm joking, by the way.
But a lot of those vehicles have been in the game for a while, just never purchasable, and some of the new additions are just updated versions of older cars.
Yeah.
Let me just fit this in quick, because I think it's criminal.
Yeah, I still say this. I've been saying this for ages. Like, that car should be in this game. It'll never happen. It wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be that bad if some of the mission design, level design was better. It's just, it gets so boring, especially in the finale when you're just shooting the plane for 5 minutes before it comes down. It's awkward to do on controller.
Anyway, going back to what we was talking about.
Because of the dead zone and stuff like that. It's just the controllers don't feel that good.
Compared to just 6 from the Criminal Enterprises update, leaving less content for drip feed, meaning a bigger dry period for the game until the next update.
Yeah, this is what we've talked about as well. So this is the Criminal Enterprises update, and look at the good cars that we had in this thing as well. So this was the new one. What would it have been then? This would have been Chop Shop, no? Chop Shop, yeah.
Day 1 compared to just 6 from the Criminal Enterprises update.
And this was a winter DLC, and look, lots of these cars. I can't believe this has been in the game so long. By the way, the Astrop GZ. Lots of these cars were basically just updated versions of older cars, or just other cars that had slightly changed. Like I do like the Imaggio, by the way, and they weren't really that bad. It was not bad vehicles really, but just compared to something like this. I mean, look, you had the Corsita, the Green with the LM87, the Omnis EGT, the Torero EXO, and so on. You had loads of cars in that, you know, the Drauga. Everyone enjoyed the Drauga. Like, I can't believe that's not in the game, by the way.
Which I'm sure the creators of those vehicles would have been more than happy to see them in the game. But
yeah, let's work with the community more to add content into GTA Online. Other games do that, but not GTA Online. I just
to make their own. I don't see.
Get them on board. If people are making good stuff within the community, get them on board. Get them working on the game. This is Rockstar Games. They're going to make billions from the next game.
Can't get more than what we currently do. Aside from the vehicles, they could do more community events and challenges. We don't see many of them, and I think it's a great way to get the community together. For some weird reason...
Yeah, they need to do them at a correct time of year, though, because when they do these ice challenges, they never do the ice challenges at an appropriate time of year, because it'll always be, like, leading up to the December update, but it's like, what? It's like, why? The December update shouldn't really be where it is. I mean, it's not as bad as it coming out in November, but when we're doing the community stuff in November, when new games are coming out and people aren't going to be playing the community stuff because, well, the community events, because, you know, they're playing the new Call of Duty or whatever's come out.
Only ever seem to do these events in October/November.
Yeah, here we go.
Time when new games are coming out. We need to remember the game is 11 years old this year. People are going to stop playing this game to play other games when new ones come out.
They would even stop playing this game if it was a year old, just because the new games come out in October, November.
They need to stop doing events at that time of year. They really should be doing those events towards the back end of the winter and also spring. That's the back end of summer and autumn for the weirdos out there.
I only put this in for the odd Australian viewer that we've got. We do have some more other than just Fishman and Street.
They could also go back and add things they never got around to doing, such as go-kart races. I don't understand why there isn't a go-kart racing series. I ran a poll one time and 75% of people would like one.
It's crazy this, because when the go-karts were first brought out, we were saying they should have done something similar to Mario Kart, and they could have done something really good with the creator at the time when they added in the go-karts.
The go-kart racing series
Which never did.
Could be easily done. There's many community creations.
Yeah, there's many. Look, they could just. I've made them, for example. Look, there's better ones out there than my tracks. Put it that way, but if mine's got put in the community series, yeah, the one that I made, they could easily even just make some minor changes, how they see fit, and introduce a go-kart racing series out of all of the best ones in the community. Put it that way. And there's many of them to do. Many of them they can choose from. Sorry. Yeah, all they have to do is add in about 6. You've got 6 community-made go-kart races and turn it into a go-kart racing series. Then, you know, that's something.
Choose from.
That's something to add in, isn't it?
Level. Let's ignore some of the bad ones I've added with the community jobs, but there's plenty of good ones out there that they could make into an official go-kart racing series. Anyway, hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. With the way that they're currently handling the game, there should be a lot more content to look forward to and not less. That content should be drip-fed accordingly to prevent the game from going through dry periods and to keep GTA Plus members happy. Hopefully that's something that changes going forward, but I'm not the most optimistic because I'm not seeing many people in the community have this conversation.
You still don't see many people talk about it either. I think I've seen the odd thing about people saying, you know, with the drip feed content, they wish they had more of it, but it's mainly people wanting even more content. I mean, we have had less content, haven't we? But I don't know. It's a while since I saw anyone talking about it, so I can't really remember off the top of my head, but it was something like that. It came across as if they didn't want the drip feed content, but they just wanted more of it. Just more stuff in the game, basically. I don't know now. It was weird. I remember this might have even been a year ago. Bang on a year ago. I vaguely remember it. But yeah, that was that video. 2 minutes until the update. How is everyone if you've just joined us? What games have you been playing? Are you still clinically insane and playing GTA? Can I redo this? If I let me do this for you, Crispy, if you're there. Why? What is this? Honestly, that history tab thing that comes up on Chrome. I'm trying to go to Stream Elements and go to my dashboard. Who am I? Can I replay this? Yeah.
Crispy
There you go, mate.
812, thanks for becoming a member. Crispy 812 celebrates 58 months of membership.
You shouldn't have done that before, Rand. I need to get that sorted out, but it's not like that's ever going to happen when I'm on the screen share. Might have to do that next week if we can't find anything to play on GTA. Go through an old video. Should I get one lined up? Let me have a look. How Rockstar Games should have handled GTA Online in recent years. Three dislikes on it, by the way. Right, let's restart the game. I think the prize ride's going to be... The Chavos is one of them, because that's in the thumbnail. So if the prize ride is the... Let's have a look. Where is it? Where is it? Dinka Chavos. The prize ride's the neon. So if the prize ride is the Chavos, when we load up, it's updated. The original Modern Warfare 2 was so good, you know. Crispy with the pog frogs. Is it the Chavos? I can't really tell because of the livery. This is the Chavos, look. So, I don't know why I've gone on to that. I'm not checking if there's a new vehicle out. So there's no new vehicle to come out. If I guess online jobs, play job. That is the only slasher that's in the game. Are you still online, Sprinter? I'm going to invite you, Shadow, if you want to join. Check out this new slasher map. Put on 2 rounds. I think 3 rounds might be enough. Well, too much, sorry. You hate the weather, you want to do a glitch to get rid of it. Why is the Halloween weather actually in? Guys, welcome if you just joined us. Just check out the new slasher map. You're not online, appearing online, Sprinter. We've dragged Shadow off YouTube to check out this new slasher map. The slasher stalks up. I'm not reading that. It's just the same as the other one, isn't it? You don't care for the Sypherpk Halloween weather. It is annoying. It is annoying. I just get an advert in Chinese. You're not joining Sprinter. Look, I'm just going to start. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, it's out. Look, we're on the new slasher map. All right, I'm just gonna start it then, Sprinter. Yeah, no worries. It comes out on like it normally comes out about 5 minutes ago. Whatever time zone you're in. See, I don't think the hunted should have the outfits. It just should be play-around outfits. Like, why have they got spooky outfits on? How come we're playing Slash and I've got a shotgun? This is the thing with Slasher. It is quite fun to play with friends, but I feel like most of the time I'm just playing the game by looking at the minimap. Are you shining a light at me? I'm gonna see. I couldn't really see what was going on because I was playing with the minimap. Where are you? I'm actually not gonna kill you. Yeah, it's in the submarine. I thought it would be this exact submarine as well. I think this would have been far better if it was in a Kasaka. This submarine's a bit too basic. Saying that, there is another level that I've not been on. This level. But it's a bit... like, there's not much. And we're just down to where we came from. Just play by looking at the minimap again. Can I up the stairs? Yeah. What if we can get to the ladder? In fact, we're going to be able to see around here, aren't we? Would help if I'm not looking up at the ceiling. Would it become the hunted? What's with the crates here? Might as well come and kill me, Shadow. This is a bit boring with just two of us. I just wanted to see the new map, but it is just pretty much that submarine. It's nothing changed about it. I mean, there's some crates there that aren't normally there. I feel like they've put the crates here just to stop people from jumping up on the table or something. I don't know. But saying that now, I'm not entirely too sure. You can't get up on it anyway. Let's maybe put it in for some cover. I wish we could have put that on one round instead. I don't know why I'm recording gameplay for Slasher, by the way. Stop that recording. Right, you might as well come and kill me. We know where it spawns in. Right, I'm here in the canteen, Shadow. Here it is. Rip, oh no, I've lost. Well, that was that. I'm not doing this Ghost Exposed stuff because you don't get anything new for it. And if it turns out you do get something new for it, yeah, that I didn't know of. From the looks of things, you don't get anything new from it, put it that way. I'll just do it next week. Be something to do. Be something to do. Is this where it puts you? Is it an actual icon on the minimap? That can't be it now. That's what I'm going to say. It's Team Deathmatch. Looks crap. Yeah, it was crap. Well, Slash is alright, but you've got to be playing with mates. It's only good if you've got like 6 of you playing. And even then it gets boring quick because you can't see anything. You're in the pitch, you know, it's pitch black. I feel like it should be more gloomy than black. So yeah, God knows. Well, I'm probably going to end the stream soon, in fact, because there's just nothing to do. Welcome if you've just joined us. We've just checked out the new Slasher map. It's just Slasher on the submarine. That's all it is. It's just a livery for the Ghostbusters car. I don't even have the Ghostbusters car. Street, welcome. I had it on Taller Fall, but I don't have it on Solo Supra. It might be in the livery. But that car came out 2 years ago, I'm sure it did. Well, that'll give me something to do next week. The Duggan robbery. Something to revisit. You're not online, Street? No, mate, you don't have to say sorry you're late to the stream. It's up to you. You do what you want. I hate the drone part so much. Don't remind me about it, because I don't even know which one it is. I'm going to end the stream in about 10 minutes anyway, Street, because there's just nothing to do. It's been quite a boring week this week, because I've not felt like playing the game. There's nothing in the game for me to want to do anyway. And not really much has happened with the weekly update. We've got the Slasher map, but Slasher... Like I said, Slasher's good with some mates, but it gets boring quickly because you can't really see anything. I think they need to do a better job at creating an atmosphere for Slasher that isn't just, you know, you're just in complete darkness with some Halloween outfits on. And it would be better. But it's still the same hide and seek rubbish. Nothing to do until December, not for GTA. Not for GTA. Yeah, they should have released the cars more slowly. We actually watched an old video of mine talking about the drip feed content and how we need more drip feed content. That doesn't necessarily just have to be cars, by the way. That could be anything. I mean, we've kind of seen it today with this Slasher mode, but I'm like, come on, that's not new, is it? That's an old returning mode on a old interior that we've never had access to before. For Slasher. You can't really class that as new content, can you? Guys, welcome in if you've just joined us. I appreciate it. Oh, you know what I want to do? I think before I end the stream, we'll have a bit of bonus time because I want to check if... So, on Battlefield, you can create your own experiences in Portal, which is basically like your own server, and you can add bots to it. And if you use the verified modes, so the modes that are provided to you, you get full XP. So you can level up guns just by killing bots. And that's what people have been doing. And I want to see if you can actually create a lobby without running into any issues at this time. So I've only been doing it in the evening. So I'll do it at this time rather than post at like 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, let me know when you're on stream, if you're jumping online. You're on now. Right, I'll invite you. Honestly, I think I'm going to have bonus time now. Because there's no need for this. Let's invite Street though first. Xbox must be a bit behind. I've just completely missed you. There you are. Fishman member for 58 months. Shout out to Fishman.
Craig Fisher celebrates 58 months of membership.
So it's on the right screen this time so it pops up properly. So, mate, some of the bloody emotes that pop up, emojis that pop up, it's so weird. Nothing's going on. So we're going to have bonus time briefly for 10 minutes. Oh, we didn't get a fun fact about Aboriginals. Do you want me to get a fun fact about Aboriginals really quick? I said we were going to do it.
Yeah, I haven't done anything.
Street's not found it because there's no fun facts about Aboriginals.
Oh, I couldn't be bothered.
I like it. That's the Aboriginal mentality. I like it, Street. Like, what is this it's giving me here, right? Do you want to know a fun fact about Aboriginals?
What?
A fun fact about Aboriginals. Let me just mute my stream because I'll switch it over and then you can listen to it. Sounds like Street is an Aboriginal with that attitude.
He's probably not fucking. He's probably not wrong.
If I do this, read it. Read aloud.
Here's a fun and obscure fact about Aboriginal culture that most people don't know. The didgeridoo might have been used to mimic the sounds of frogs, not just music. In some regions of northern Australia, early didgeridoo players are believed to have imitated the deep, resonant calls of native frogs during ceremonies related to rainmaking and fertility. These performances weren't just musical. They were ecological storytelling, using sound to connect with the rhythms of the land and encourage rainfall. Even cooler, the word didgeridoo isn't Aboriginal at all. It's thought to come from Irish or Scottish soldiers mimicking the instrument's sound. Didgeridoo. Aboriginal groups have their own names for it, like Yidaki, Yolngu people of Arnhem Land, and Margo, West Arnhem Land.
I love
Would you
this
like me to share
Aboriginal
a few more
facts.
weird but true Aboriginal facts like
Weird
that?
but true Aboriginal
Maybe
facts.
one about astronomy or ancient engineering.
No, go away. Always wants to talk about astrology. He goes on about they've got all these astrology records, yeah, and then you ask it, did the Aboriginals have written language? They've not got written language. It's like, so haven't they got all these astrology records dating about 50,000 years or whatever the bloody said, and they can't even write it down? Was it just hearsay? Weird. Yeah, what a crock of shit. Do you want another one?
There's the more.
In fact, I'll do one since 1900. Is a lesser known and quite moving fact about Aboriginal Australians since 1900. Wari and Yatunka from Martu. I've already said way too many words that I just didn't want to say. It's just not something an English person should be speaking. Yatunga. Yatunka. Yeah. From the Martu people of the Gibson Deserts. Gibson Desert. What we're doing still calling it the Gibson Desert. Shouldn't that have an Aboriginal name? Come on, guys. Western Australia as well. Aren't they woke? Lived nomadically together for about 40 years after eloping in the 1930s because their relationship was forbidden under tribal law. Brilliant, thank you, ChatGPT. Yeah, it is the sound effect. I've had the sound effects on this longer than what we actually played Among Us for. It's been on here like years. And this one. Get knocked on Fortnite. Should we do it since 2010? Or since 2020? Give me a recent Aboriginal fact since 2020. Archaeologists discovered that healing ritual practiced by... this is another one. Gunai people of southern eastern Australia has been carried out untouched for at least 12,000 years for over 500 generations. The evidence: in Clogs Cave in Victoria, they found 2 small fireplaces with fat-coated sticks. These match descriptions of a ritual documented in the late 1800s. Anyone could have done that. Anyone. It's not doing a good job at giving me facts about them, is it? This is something similar again. Jigurus, talking about Jigurus. Do you know what a Jiguru is, right? Lizard Island. Lizard Island. Right, I'm not going to be streaming for too much longer because it's pointless. There's nothing to do on GTA at the minute.
Oh, they shouldn't just released all the vehicles. I don't get why they did that at all.
Rewind for GTA Onliner. Battlefield 6 needs an update. Needs an update, apparently. Have you seen much of Battlefield 6 Street?
I only watched the campaign for it.
The campaign, did you see IGN gave it a 5 out of 10?
Apparently, I heard they're not real gamers.
It's funny because I watched the review and it's like the guy just sounds like he's waffling, but the game is a 5 out of 10, but not for the reasons what he said.
Have you watched IGN play freaking, what was it, that Cuphead? He couldn't even get past the tutorial, but yet, black and white, there it is.
Oh, but lots of people were talking about that ages ago, weren't they, when Cuphead first came out?
Yeah.
I'll turn the volume down when it loads in, by the way. Probably is loud at the minute. Welcome to Battlefield 6. Look, I'm level 54, so I've played the game. I've had double XP tokens in the bot lobbies, so I've only played the bot lobbies to use the double XP tokens there and level up a few weapons and unlock that sniper. Why am I struggling to find audio? Look how yellow the characters look as well. Look. Don't know why that changed into balanced. But there's one 7 AUR. But you can't start them because there's always like too many going at one time, and you'll get an error. Just like that. Global game quota exceeded. Is it going to put me in? No, look. Global game quota exceeded. If you do keep pressing it, it should put you in eventually, but I feel like there's that many people that are in these bot lobbies leveling shit up. If I do this, right, sometimes you can get into them. Try joining or start your own. 100 ping. What a game. You have to spam it so then you can join as well. But you don't always join it. What was the update saying? Well, I'm on Battlefield, so that's what the update's saying, Hamid. I actually don't think they need to buff the weapon leveling. The problem with it is it's just it just something doesn't feel right, and I can't quite put my finger on it. But the weapon leveling, I think the problem with the weapon leveling is there's some attachments that are really good at the later end of it, and it makes the gun tedious to level up. Like some of the guns only have small magazines, for example, and then like the last level you get the extended mag. It's something stupid like that. I can't really be asked to play a normal game, but
I'll be back.
I might jump into one just for the sake of it, since that's not working. Look at that. Server unavailable. Server unavailable. I didn't mean to do that. Mirak Valley. Is it going to launch this? I can't believe you have issues at this time of morning. It's put me in this one. It's put me in. The 12v12. Don't ask me why the skin's so yellow as well. It's like the last ones you unlock. And I've only got them on because they're so yellow. It's just funny to look at. So V12 breakthrough. Might actually be half decent when you're playing against real players. The bots just beam you anyway. It's a real player on the other team. I thought that might have been him as well. Brilliant. You can't even play your bot lobby in peace. Might as well do this, hang on. Play. Quick little game of King of the Hill. There's just people on Xbox. Not normally like this. It's in extras. It's in somewhere weird. Crossplay. Like, I've definitely got it on. Yeah, crossplay on. It's like the game's broken. What is going on? Look, the people that are joining are all on Xbox. It's never like this, never. I'm going to change the camo just so it matches my UMP. By the way, I can't believe, you know, in GTA we've not got a UMP. I can't believe it. Like, what? He never does this. Populating with bots. God. I've never played King of the Hill on this map, so I don't know where they're going to spawn in from. Let me just adjust my mic. I don't feel like I'm sat comfortable to play this. Shoot first, die first. I need to get wins in King of the Hill. I feel like the netcode's not very good as well in this game, because the amount of times where you die and it feels like you've barely been shot. Like that definitely was one there. Like, that's another thing as well, the spawns on this. How is he even there when I've got look, all my team's here? There's somebody shooting me from down there, and then he's here. What? Look how long it takes me to kill somebody. Just a door you can't open. It's fantastic. Just do it instinctively, you know, press up and down on the crouch. I mean, why wouldn't you go into crouch when you're shooting? Because you get less recoil, but it just messes you up. It just seems to give you shit tons of bloom. And your gun flicks up in the air. He's got a level 3 vest on from PUBG. Someone else around here, I'm sure. Okay. Some of the things that'll happen to you when you die in this game are just really weird. See, sometimes as well when you hear people, you're not sure whether it's your teammates or not. Oh well, that's some massive desync that. No one's gonna get me. I mean, they should all be up here because the objectives are here. And if they revive me, it's quicker for me to be then back on the objective, but... There we go, we've got a medic. Red Devil coming for me. There's somebody down there. Oh. I didn't mean to do that. Fell right into him. What you can do is, like, even on like a thin sort of object like this barrier here, if you jump on it and slide at the same time, it'll like boost you forward. And I went to do that and failed because it vaulted instead. So just landed smack in front of him. See the bloom kicking in there when I switched to the second guy because I'd held in the trigger for too long. Smoke and make him push forward. As if he had to grenade me. It was already capper enough. Stops him from getting around that way though. Somebody best get me now. No. Not gonna happen.
Fuck! Need a medic!
No, not gonna happen. This guy here, this Red Devil that made before, he can get me up because he's got defibrillators. It's not going to get me. It's going to bleed out on the objective. No. Could have easily taken that. I say they've got bots on their team. I'm not seeing them. Look at the bloom. I was going to say, I thought that might have been a bot. Is he still up there? Oh, that was a quick game. Just nothing happened that game. Nothing. Play one more. Empire State. Oh, it's not the same map. Why is he just doing it for Xbox? Stop. It's only putting me in with Xbox players. What is this? Don't think I played King of the Hill on this map either. Oh no, I have. Like, never mind. Alright. So it means sometimes you just die instantly on this. The aim assist works really weirdly on here as well. Sometimes you don't even have it. 25 on the shield. Or maybe not. I thought I only hit his shield, that's why I didn't push him straight away. How's he not dead? Like, jumping out there and doing that just messed me up. But I feel like that shouldn't mess you up, that's what I'm saying. They penalise you too much for moving. Get to next. I wanted to slide. What are you doing there? Just putting down equipment. I think you were putting down a respawn beacon. I think they're above you now. Yeah, I'm definitely hearing something. I don't like how it stops you firing as well when you're getting up off the ground. I don't mind it un-ADSing you, but stopping firing's a bit too much. Just get the objective. They're above us at the minute. So Just gotta jump down these elevators, surely. I don't want to do that, but that works. I just shouldn't have re-peeked that, I didn't have enough health. It's like this objective's not worth fighting over because it's going to move soon. I was going to say I don't think I should have killed him because it spawned closer to the next objective, but I don't think it matters. I killed him too quickly, so there's still a spawn where they would have spawned before this objective spawned in. Alright. Pre-fired. Res me. What on earth's going on? Dead body. I thought it was somebody crouching or crawling.
Need a medic!
It's a weird one to hold down this because it can come from loads of different angles. Oh, okay. It happens a lot though this game. On this game, it's just people always seem to kill you really quickly. Always feels like their time to kill is lower than yours. He probably was shooting at me for, you know, longer on his screen, but on my screen it just looks like he's just done me instantly. There's some desing. I did hear him, but I thought it was a teammate.
Fuck! Need a medic!
If it had went round the other side of the truck, it'd have been good. This is a dodgy one, and I'm going to go this way as well.
I'm hit!
Sometimes in King of the Hill, you've just got to send numbers in. It's like then, man, I really don't feel as if the penalty should be there. Like, he's outgunned me because I've jumped. Like, he's not missed me just because I've jumped, has he? He just hasn't. It's not like it makes you a harder target. I don't think they should penalise you as much as that for jumping. With the bloom and just the way the gun just goes up in the air. The bullets don't go centrally. Oh, I was going to go and revive him. I didn't want to do that. Assist. I don't think that's fair. I didn't think that was fair. Bit more happened that game. Never played King of the Hill on that other map before, and my god, was it boring. I never want to play it again on that map. I just feel like this is a thing, though, when you're going on about the unlocks for the gun shadow. Like, you don't have stats for weapons like you do on Call of Duty. Like, obviously, you've got the weapon damage stats. I'm on about, like, how many kills you've had and how many deaths you've had with it, and, you know, vice versa. Accuracy, how many shots fired. Things like that. So I'm level 25, which is halfway to 50, for it to be in max level. And, like, I've got nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Which I just find silly. 4 years they've been making this game, and this is it. This is it. And then the guns that you unlock at level 50 as well. This thing, I cannot tell you. I mean, look, this is the last assault rifle you unlock. And watch how shit this thing is. Look at the kick you get with it. And just to compare that, let's just... I've not really used assault rifles. Let's just pick this thing, yeah? Let's just pick this thing. This feels a lot better. The cord, this seems to be a gun everyone likes. The only guns that I've not unlocked, I need to get kills with SMGs. I'm not bothered about LMGs. I'm not bothered about the shotguns. I need to get kills with either this or the SGX. It's a 15-round mag, by the way. 15-round mag. What level do you have to be to unlock the 25-round mag? 27. Like... might just have to use the SGX. I've just not used this at all either, but I think this has got a 30 round mag. Anyway, that's enough messing about with that. I'm going to end the stream there. Hopefully GTA is going to be a bit better next week. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe for more content. Sorry I had to jump on Battlefield this week, but I mean, nobody was online and there was nothing to do. So yeah, hopefully next week there's something more to do, which with it being the last full week before Halloween, then maybe things might pick up a bit more with, you know, the Halloween stuff in GTA. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, feel free to leave a like and also subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys, goodbye.